All right, so let's talk about lifestyle. Like I mentioned before, I'm in my mid 30s. I've got a couple young kids and a wife and a full time job, like most 30-year-old guys who hit their midlife crisis and want to go ride bikes again because that's what they did when they were a kid. That's me. But if you are wanting to help improve your fitness, so you probably, you've got kids that are maybe 4 or 5 years old now, and you've kind of gotten through that initial phase of sleepless nights and total exhaustion, and now you're thinking like, well, I've had to sacrifice my health to get my kids through the first couple of years of their life. Now I want to get my health back in good shape again. How do I do that? And you start thinking cycling might be a good way to accomplish that goal. Then you're probably looking at about 4 or 5 hours of training every day. And that's a decision that you can make. But you've got so much money, you've got so much time, and you need to sit down and look at your life and think, what can I dedicate to this goal? And then start trying to pick and plan a race that will help you accomplish whatever that goal is. So the race might be this goal, but the race might not be the goal. So as an example. So for me, this race that I'm running at the end of this weekend, in about 4 or 5 days, is stage one for me. So I've been riding my bike consistently for about 2 years now. I've ridden bikes my whole life. I've always loved everything on two wheels. I ride motorcycles. I've ridden bikes. I've ridden electric bikes. I love everything on two wheels. It's just something I've always been really enjoying. But I've been training on a bike for about 2 years now. Before that, I was pretty heavy, and so my main focus was weight loss. I was really trying to get myself back into good health again. And so I spent the last 2 years really focusing on consistent and healthy weight loss, not fast weight loss, 2 to 4 pounds a month, but not a lot of weight loss. So I haven't been really focusing a lot on the power and some of the things that you can really get into. I'm kind of working on that now. Since the beginning of the year, I've been doing more formal training. But for the last 2 years, that's really been my goal. And this race was kind of the beginning of me trying to develop a plan for my actual physical fitness. So not just, I don't want to be heavy, I don't want to be overweight, but also I want to try to see what my body can do, see what I can accomplish. I've never really pushed myself to that limit before, so let's give it a try. And so that was what really the goal I set for this race was to push me past just the weight loss goal and start focusing on really physical fitness and wellness and strength and endurance and all those things that you have to really get good at in cycling, and just see what I can do. My long-term goal, so at the end of this year, my plan is to ride the Katy Trail over about 4 or 5 days. So that's my big goal for this year. My big goal for training for this year is to ride the Katy Trail over 4 or 5 days. And I knew if I picked out a race halfway through the year, I wanted that race to be representative of something that was a little bit harder than what I have to do every day on a Katy Trail. So I picked this race for a lot of different reasons. It is significantly harder than what I'll have to do on the Katy Trail. But if I can do this, I can do the Katy Trail, no problem. And if you're not familiar with the Katy Trail, it's a race that goes from, or a trail that goes from Missouri to St. Louis, and you can ride it all the way from Pleasant Hill, Missouri, all the way to basically the Illinois border. And I wanted to ride that route at the end of this year, and I knew that to get a good example of what that would be like, I needed to find a race or a course or something that I could do that would be a good representation of having to do that work in one day. And then basically I just take that I knew I can do in one day now and do it over 4 days, and then I've got the Katy Trail done, because that's about how long it would take to get it done. So this is first stage of that. So looking at my lifestyle right now is I want to be healthier for my family, take good care of my body so I can take good care of my family. Well, now I have accomplished some of those weight loss goals. I'm in much better shape than I used to be. Now I want to see what my body can do. I've got about 4 hours to 5 hours a week of training that I can dedicate to this goal. Let's pick out a race and work to getting to the Katy Trail. Let's pick a race that will fairly represent that, and then train to that. And then by the end of the middle of the year, when I plan on doing the Katy Trail, probably end of quarter 3, I'll know for that 3-month time that I've already got that blocked off. Now it's just a matter of building up my muscular and aerobic endurance so that I can do it continually day after day for about 4 days. So that's my whole lifestyle plan. That's what I'm trying to do this race for, why I'm trying to do this race, and why this race matters to me. So that's the big one that you have to really look at first, and that's how you pick your race. So you take your lifestyle and you look and you pick the race that you want to do based upon what your lifestyle is, what your goals are, and what you want to accomplish, what's realistic for you. So as an example, this race that I'm doing is 52.4 miles. It is all loose gravel, with the exception of 4 miles is on paved roads. Everything else is loose gravel. And it's 4,400 feet of elevation change, so it's very, very hilly. It's a loop, so it all starts and ends in the same place, but over the course of it, you experience 4,400 feet of up and down. So it's very, very hilly. And that's a lot harder than what I'll do on the Katy Trail. The Katy Trail is what they call a rail trail. So you basically never hit more than about 1 or 2% of elevation the whole time. So it's way harder than that. But good representation of if I can do this, I can do the Katy Trail. So that's lifestyle. That's number one.